from Williams Pinball. Wallace is working on that centipede. Remember that? This was in the smoker's house. Look, this is without it being washed. Come over here. And this side has been washed. Unfortunately, the nicotine is in there pretty good, but we had to start with washing it. We're going to repaint it white. Stephen is going to go around this and paint this baby white. And look, look, N. That stands for Nathaniel. See?
Stands for nothing.
Nothing. It's, you know, Wallace, people think that we should now make Dig Dug Disco. Remember? But he's sitting here. Actually, wait a minute. Can't you disco sitting down? Hey, let's try it. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go.
Watch it, Frank, make it kick.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
That's going to get a few more thumbs down.
Yeah. Get 2 thumbs down.
Nobody likes it when we disco dance. Anyway, I am going to show you the Blackout game. But you know what? That darn fan, I can feel the hot air blowing on me. And you know, I'm not used to hot air blowing on me.
There's more blowing out of you usually.
Here, we'll be back. Here we are. That's better. That's better. You know, they made 7,050 Blackouts. And this is our first one for many years. This is actually a game that came back to us. We had sold it years and years ago. So we gave a chance to see what they look like with super bright LEDs throughout the playfield. Now, look at the backlash. I want you to look at this. It looks pretty nice, doesn't it? It does. It's a very hard to find. Nobody reproduces it. The problem with Blackout backglasses is similar to Gorgor and the Black Knight and Flash, the paint flakes. Wallace, are you going to continue making noise from those rusty old casters?
Nope. I'm going to take a long break. Call me.
No, you can keep working. I'm just teasing you. I'm for
real.
A long break. He's exhausted.
Yeah, I'm exhausted.
Well, this guy has been waiting very patiently for his beautiful Blackout. And we are finished. So what do we have on layaway? Why do we keep having all this sound in here? You just can't do anything. We have a very busy shop. No. Anyway. There we go. Stephen has done extensive touch-up, and it's sealed now. And I think he's matched the colors pretty darn well. I think it looks pretty terrific. Once it's installed. Once it's installed. Anyway, this is what you have to do now. Now, eventually they'll make a repro. Ooh. Now, obviously, we have super brakes in there to power through the paint. Our boards have all the basic things we've done. We have the zero resistors, zero ohm resistors here, so the switches are most responsive. We have the little cell here. We've actually changed several of the sockets for the RAMs, or the ROMs, and the 5101. And new capacitors on our power supply, and the 2 resistors, the high voltage resistors for plus and minus 100 volts. A new capacitor here on the sound and speech board. Now, this has something unique. This is Williams' first time that they put that relay right there, onto the game, and this flashes all the lights in the machine. Now, the game right after this was Firepower. There was actually the game right after was the Black Knight. The Black Knight. See, I was wrong. Black Knight, the first run was using the rest of these boards, this power supply, and they had the relay down here. But all the runs, I'm not sure how many were made with that, but they switched. The Black Knight was the first one with a skinnier power supply, okay, the rectangular one, and the relay was built in on the board, and that flashed all the lights. Like that. You hear it clicking. Isn't that clever? Really clever. Now listen, the first game to have a relay to flash all the GI was things, if you've been watching my videos, Stern's Galaxy in January. This came out in June. I wonder, what I think happened is when they saw Galaxy, the Williams said, gosh, we should do that too. The Galaxy had it, then Muhammad Ali had that relay. The Galaxy was the first to experiment with flashing all the GI, and so Williams picked it right up and stuck it in on their new power supply when they redesigned it for the Black Knight. Now, the gameplay on this is just terrific. It's this game is super fast, especially if you've rebuilt everything like Frank has. I think you've been watching the videos, you've been seeing the progress. Frank has put a boatload of new parts on this. We have new stickers, obviously, on the machine, on the drop targets. We've taken these drop target banks apart, rebuilt them. I'm going to show you anyway, because there goes the ball. I do that every time. Anyway, we're taking these all apart, cleaned and scrubbed them. He's also done the same with all of these mechanisms. Every single one. The pop bumpers have been rebuilt with all new parts. Just boatload of work. And Frank has also added some excitement. We've installed a color changer to light the hole. The hole was never lit, but now it is. Hole is lit. Short round. Can you get the back glass into flash for me so I can do it? We can swing over and finish that.
Sure, I'm not doing anything.
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 All right, I'll do it.
What do you want to do, back glass?
Yeah, just, oh, you fat, damn. Okay. All right, well, Frank, let's give it a try. Isn't it nice? There's that pause with the dead sound and nothing. Now, do you hear the background sound? They're using the same board they did Firepower and Gorgor. It's a great soundboard with just some different programming. And that sound will increase as you play the game. Your first shot dumps you into this area, which is what you want. And then, once you get down here, one of them, then your lane change takes over. The wonderful lane change that Williams starts on Firepower. Now, everything is color coordinated here. So what they've done here is they have a series of lights: green light, yellow light, and red light. Okay? Now the red is run right from here. These three targets.
Red.
Okay, he'll announce when you finish the target. Green.
Condition green.
There's our green. Now we need the yellow to qualify
Condition yellow.
for blackout. Now there's our blackout hole. Now we've lit it. Frank has put a color changer in there. Isn't that nice? Nothing before. Yes. Frank loves color changers. Somebody's going to not be happy though, because we've changed the design of the game.
Oh no.
Anyway, here's what that wonderful little relay does. You go in the hole.
Blackout.
Look at all the displays are out too. So it almost looks like the game was unplugged. Ooh. That didn't work out too well, did it, Frank? Well, it won't do that. It won't do that when the legs are on. Okay? Otherwise, it wouldn't be much fun to play if it goes down the toilet every time. Look at the speed of this thing. Look at, Frank, how your jet bumpers are working. Beautiful. Now, you have to take these drop targets apart and clean the horseshoe. There's like a horseshoe pair of pads that go down, and to me, personally, they're very effective if they're kept clean. There's two sets of contacts. Contact set 1 gives you the points, and contact set 2 is actually a continuous circuit and series. If you have all three targets down, it makes a whole circuit. The horseshoe goes through each horseshoe and makes a completed circuit. As the target drops down, it passes the point contacts. And then in the down position, it's now waiting for the completion of all the targets.
Condition red.
Look at that.
Condition
Now, I want to
yellow.
point something out too. Listen. Isn't that neat? Your spinner will advance those. Of course, if you have your arrows lit, you'll do even better. Very, very nice. Very effective sound. Now, we're up to 2 times. In older games, it doesn't flash, but in this game, the programmers allow your bonus to flash. I think it's a really nice touch. And they didn't need any more information on the chips to do it. So they could have probably flashed a lot of different things. I just thought that was such a nice touch.
Orbit completed.
Completed my orbit, Frank. Orbit shot similar to firepower 2. Now, of course, getting the shot here is winging it off of this. Bad winging. I'm never going to get that. I'm never going to get that.
Condition red. Launch completed.
Really nice, effective thing there. No match on this. Now, it came out a little bit earlier. Was Flash. Oh, wait! Before we walk over to that, look at the beautiful job Stephen has done to this cabinet. You know, somebody sooner or later is going to make this back glass. See, the problem here is that it's mirrored. So it's got the silver mirror in it. Very difficult to reproduce. You know, obviously new springs, new flipper buttons. It's a beauty. Now this is getting shipped out to a fellow who's been waiting a while. He had that on layaway. This game, Flash, they actually made over 10,000 of these. Now this one has the super brights. You can see a lot of blue in this. And it is nice. It's our first Flash with LEDs, I think. Did we have a Flash? No, I don't think we had a Flash before. Maybe one. I don't remember. You'll know. Let's see. We may have had one, but what we did here that we didn't do with the other ones too, in addition to the LEDs, we've changed all the star rollovers. We have 4 reds here, but we elected. Tony worked on this. He elected to put a clear here with a color changer because this is worth the most points. 5,000 points for that. Same drop target system. These were all taken apart, all serviced. Do I get a moment's pace, Frank? Look, we've got a color changer up here too. We've lit the hole. Very nice game. Sound has a lot of similar sounds to the Blackout, but there's no speech. Now, the speech board, the sound and speech was in the head. In the earlier machines, we've got a little touch up here on the play field, or the back glass, not play field. There's same soundboard's going. That's in the body. And I was glad when they moved it to the head. They needed to get it out of the body, but then they have a remote volume control down there. So it's in the same place the volume controls are in the later games. Flash was one of the games, a crossover games, that used both boards. You could use the 4-chip across board, the older one, or the newer chip. Now, on the newer one, there's 3 ROMs. On the other one, it's 2 and 2, but it depends on the board that you have. A battery with the lithium there. We have all new connectors here. Queen Service does a lot of our boards now. We're so busy. And Joe, Queen Service in Ben Salem, he can rebuild your driver boards so they're like new. So he puts new connectors in every one. And of course, we go over all the other points on the board, fixing switch lines. And this has the 0 ohm resistors here instead of the resistors. So the switches are as sensitive as they can be. We've changed the same 3 caps and the 2 high voltage resistors on the board. And of course, these are super bright LEDs. Way here in the center, these are from Pinball Life. They're very nice. Very nice. And it's a very nice game. It's come along beautifully. Now, Okay. This is what happens in a busy shop. Now look. We put a free play button here. When you push it, you get a quarter. And here is why. If you put the game on free play in the programming mode, the knocker's disconnected. So you don't hear the knocker when you put yourself a credit, like this, and you don't hear the knocker when you win a free game. So they disconnected the knocker when you have it in free play. So most of our customers want to hear that knocker go off when they win a free game. So that's why we have that button there. This button electronically commands the game to begin. You hear the background sound. Well, I happen to know on your flash, if you don't have background sound, the game defaults, if the batteries go dead, to no background sound. So, just so you know, all you have to do, we actually write it here for the customer later. All you have to do is go into your diagnostic and go up to 33, and you have to make it 01. The computer, when you change the batteries, defaults it to, I always get mixed up with these settings, to 00. So if you have no background sound, I'll bet you 0433 is 00. So you make it 01. You know, I don't know what happens if you do 02 and 03 and 04, and I am not going to learn either. Because these boys, and you know, Frank is not doing the camera now. He is in the office writing up an order. We've switched over to Scott. So Scotty is doing the camera work, aren't you, Scotty?
Yes.
And look who just walked in.
Just walked in.
You're late.
We've been here for hours.
Look what he's working on. A Torpedo Alley. Now there is a really neat game. And look over there, Steven's on the bonsai run, the final touches. All right, let's get back to this baby. Because everybody keeps rudely interrupting me. We're back to the same. The first shot will launch your ball all the way up here, and you want to roll through one of these ladies. That's the ideal thing. If you fire it too far, it goes past. No, there's no gate here. No. It's a skill shot, because you want to lob your ball through one of these four loops, four hoops. Now look, the hardest one is 4. I want to show you something new. There's no lane change. This is 2 games before the Gorgar. No, firepower is the first thing you say. Now watch. You get the 3, you get that nice effect, and you're up to 2 times. But if you won 3 times, you have to get 4. That's the hardest one to get. Now you're getting 3 times your scores. Now the other neat feature in this game is this is the first game to have the 289s in the center that give you this effect. Watch what happens to your flash effect. I should do the Flash Gordon effect for that. Let's do it. Here we go. No, it doesn't do that. It just makes the flash sound. But wouldn't that be neat? But did you hear the sound is going up a little? Now, this target and this target alone lights all 3 pop-uppers, which you'll get 1,000 points, but the more important thing is, see right now, you get a lousy 100 points. But look, if you bang into that, you get 1,000 points. Isn't that nice? See? And you get lots of other points. You know what? That rubber, look at that. I spotted a problem. You know, when you put brand new rubbers on a pinball machine, after about a day of playing, they start to tighten sometimes. If you get that effect, you bunch the rubber so it's loose in the front. See how it's looser here and it's tighter back here? You may have to do that, especially around the targets that are behind these switches. See that one there? We're going to have to make that adjustment. Look at that. I'm glad I did it now. There we go. See? So you may have to do an adjustment like this here and there around your game. Isn't it nice I played this, Frank, before we started? Frank was on the phone making a sale. You were making a sale, right?
No, I can't.
You canceled the sale. Look, we got these beautiful red Super Flipper rubbers on here.
Super Flipper.
Super Flipper! There must be something we can do on the video on that. And of course, you got your 100 points here. And turn, make 1,000 when they are lit. Boy, I'm not sure how, but you know, I haven't played this for so long. This has been in the showroom only for like, it's about 2 weeks. And somebody ordered it. We still have a couple back at our warehouse, so we still have more. What's interesting about this game is that every single plastic is perfect. It's actually perfect. 1979, and this is one of 10,000 of these. And you can come by. Frank, wait a minute. Do you think I... Ow!
Got 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
Was that a film?
Did you buy another roll of Kodachrome? Well, they're all in a dither about getting this game out. I don't know, Frank. Did we cover everything on the game?
I don't know.
Let me shoot a ball. That's right, Frank. You weren't listening. Oh, I tell you to do. Wait a minute. Let the ball go down. And reloading. There we go. Somebody complained that I was not doing enough gameplay, and I guess I really should. But we had more flashes. Yes, thanks to my Frank. The only complaint I could really say about early Williams pre-Firepower is that they were using their original flipper coils. Starting with Firepower, they went to the 50-volt coil, a bigger coil that definitely can get that ball anywhere you want. Now we've put new plungers and links. Did you hear the knock? Did you hear the knock? We put new plungers and links, coil sleeves. We've done the works in this, haven't we, Frank? Left the ball in there again. Look, all new parts, ender strokes, coil sleeves, plungers, links. Frank, look at these, all sparkling clean. It's in beautiful shape. There's the soundboard I was talking about with the new capacitor. Actually, all the capacitors have been changed. This board does tend to hum. You get a little bit of humming. And I telephoned Williams. They still haven't returned my call. Anyway.
Actually, they called you back just to try buying one of the new slot machines.
That would be neat, huh? Well,
Final minute.
I guess we're done, aren't we? Good night. Good night. Now, clear out! I thought I told you to leave!